Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we're in Valparaiso, Indiana, the city that I grew up in. And even more specific than that, we're here at Jesse Pfeiffer Park. This is the park I grew up going to, my house I grew up in. Not too far a walk from here. We would come down here to enjoy the playground equipment, enjoy the sled hill here. No sledding today. It's a beautiful semi-warm day here in northern Indiana, and today is a partial day of rest for me. I decided I wasn't going to leave Valparaiso. I was going to spend the day here, trying to get some stuff done. I got my laundry in my mom's laundry machine, and oh man, there is a lot. There's a lot of dirty laundry. There is so much smelly laundry that I hauled all the way. All this dirty laundry that I hauled from Los Angeles to Florida to New Orleans. Just, oh man, that's the thing. Traveling with all your stuff on your back. You got to either find places to do laundry, or you got to just throw your clothes away and buy new clothes, or haul that dirty laundry around. I did laundry a few times, but a lot of times I found myself carrying massive, heavy amounts of dirty, filthy, smelly laundry. I think tomorrow, I got an appointment tomorrow, get some new tires put on my car. I think it's time. I have 61,000 miles on my car that I bought last year. But you know what? I haven't been using my car as much this year. It is the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. And while automobiles have always been a huge part of this channel, driving around, seeing this country, seeing all the different roadside attractions, theme parks, museums, haunted houses, I put a lot of miles on my car. And I dubbed this the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. And a big part of that was the trains. I'd wanted to do trains for a long time. I didn't know anything about trains. I didn't know anything about passenger trains. Just like the idea of it. And I started digging in a little more, looking up information, and I found a whole world I didn't know about of the trains, especially the named trains, the passenger trains, the big long trips, the multi-day overnight trips that you can take on trains. I was going to do it maybe once just to see if I liked it, to see if you guys enjoyed watching it, and it ended up turning into a huge thing. The first part of this year has been all about the trains in a lot of ways. And actually, yeah, we are one fourth the way through the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. I just paid my taxes, meaning that is the end of the first quarter of the year. So we were a quarter of the way through with the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. And I was thinking I was gonna talk about all the places I've been, but man, it just seems like so many. I've been so many different places this year. I went in hard with the trains. I done. Let me just list off. I've done the California Zephyr from Chicago to San Francisco. I've done the Empire Builder, which is from Seattle to Chicago. A lot of it, like Chicago is the epicenter. Union Station, Chicago is kind of like the epicenter for a lot of these train trips. I did the Southwest Chief, the Texas Eagle, the Coast Starlight, and the Sunset Limited, the train known as the City of New Orleans that I rode yesterday, taking me back to Chicago from the actual city of New Orleans. There have been lots and lots of trains here, and I love it. I love the train travel. I think the train travel is going to be a big part of the channel going forward. I'm going to find new ways to integrate that train content into what I'm already doing here. But it is the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. So we're going to do some automobiling. We're going to do some plane travel. I took a plane to St. Louis, Missouri this year. And that's one thing with the with the plane travel, with the train travel, you don't have your car with you, which is sometimes is a huge inconvenience, as when you have to carry 2 loads of dirty laundry on your back as you walk through a major city. That's an inconvenience. But one of the inconveniences is you don't have to worry about your car. You don't have to worry about your car being broke into. You don't have to worry about finding parking for your car. You don't have to worry about paying to store your car. Ooh, so a big gust of wind just went in. I think some rain might be rolling through here at the park here momentarily. But like I was saying, you're unburdened. You can walk around the city. You can take public transportation without having to worry about getting back to your car. And it's been kind of a new experience for me because I'm so much of a automobile traveler that you get a different look at the city. When you're walking through a city as opposed to driving, you just get so much more of that city. And, I've had that opportunity with San Francisco, with Seattle, with St. Louis. Is it going to start pouring here in a second? To have that ability to be able to experience the cities in those ways. And the trains themselves, different from automobiles in that you don't have to focus on driving, like shelter. You don't have to, you're not forced to take, when you're driving, you're looking forward out the windshield. You can take in some of the beauty, but on the train, you can relax, you can look out your window and see America roll by. And it's quite the treat. I'm going to hide here under the playground equipment. And is it going to rain? I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to focus in the second quarter. Actually, let's go down I just hit my head. It's almost like they make this equipment too small. Let's go down the slide here. Since we're here, might as well do the slide. Oh, my knee hurts. Actually, I fell. I fell yesterday on my knees in Chicago. Now my knee is hurting. I'm having a hard time getting it in here. Let me see if I can. There we go. We're going to hold on. By the way, things are always harder when you are holding a camera and pointing it at yourself at all times. You only have like one hand to work with. There we go. There we go. We completed the slide here. Going down slides helps me think. So thinking about where we are going with this channel. What is happening? What are we going to do? The trains have been amazing, but it's not just the year of trains. It is the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. Quarter one, we had a good showing in quarter one with the trains, but I think we're going to maybe go a little old school, if you will, in this upcoming road trip, because I'm not going home. No, I'm not going home. I can't stay here. Don't have to go home. What is it? Oh, what does the bartender tell people? I don't have to go home, but I can't stay here. Not staying here in Valparaiso, because I'm embarking on an automobile trip. And I hope that it is, my hope is that this is one of the most epic automobile trips that I have ever been on. Because really, this automobile trip that I am planning is not just one trip. It is, in essence, two trips in one. Got under the shelter here as we still have a little bit of rain. And man, my shoes are dirty. My Crocs are dirty. These are the Crocs I bought in Los Angeles. My last pair, my purple pair, had gotten so worn out from going to all the theme parks in Florida and California that I had to buy a fresh pair of Crocs. Look at all that black stuff on there. That is authentic. That is authentic Bourbon Street French Quarter slime there. That is a combination of spilled drinks, vomit, and other other things. Look at that. There's almost no tread. It's probably why I fell and hurt my knee yesterday. There's no tread at all left on that crock. This crock is finished. How long ago was it that I bought this? This was less than a month, so 3 weeks ago, I think at most, that I've had this crock, and I've completely worn it. The tread is gone. It's encrusted with Bourbon Street filth. So it is time. It is time to cash these Crocs in and find a new pair. So these are fresh. Look at the tread on this. Oh yes. Oh yes. Always feels good. Let's see if I can compare there so you can see the difference between the tread. Look at that. This is, well, we'd agree this was 3 weeks ago. This is a new Croc. And then we get that amazing feeling of sliding on. Oh, that's so comfy. Sliding on a fresh pair of Crocs. See how long these last. While I was looking at my feet, I noticed my pants here. Look at these old ratty khakis, all tattered at the bottom. Believe it or not, since I quit my job, my last job, my CPS job, I have not bought any long pants. I've bought some new shorts, but all my long pants that I wear are my old social work khakis. I used to joke that these were my social work pants, the khakis. Sometimes I'd wear jeans when I wasn't working, but I always wear the khakis at work. Now I've gone, now I wear my social work khakis whenever I need to wear long pants. Love the cargo khakis. Hate carrying a bag. So I always have those pockets that I can put all my crap in, all my camera batteries, all my tools I need for filming. Maybe I need to invest in some new pants, wearing these ancient social work pants. It's not exactly a thunderstorm, but there is a mild rain coming down under the shelter here. I can hear it on the roof. I can hear the rain on the grass, and it's pretty relaxing, to be honest. I've been pretty busy. I've been running like crazy. Been running like crazy since the beginning of the year. Some say I've been running like crazy for 6 years now, since I quit my job in 6 years, 7 years. Quit my job in 2018. It's 2025, so coming up on 8 years. Oh my gosh, is that right? Probably doing the math wrong, but been running pretty crazy in those years. And someday I'll slow down. But I'm healthy. I'm able to do what I love, so I don't see the need to slow down yet. The wind just changed. It's blowing some raindrops in here. You can see the pitter patter of the raindrops there on the picnic table. So yeah, I'm not slowing down. In fact, as I previously mentioned, got a big trip planned. Coming up. Still workshopping names of this trip. I don't have but the idea behind this trip is down in Key West, Florida. There is a red buoy, a giant red buoy. It is a famous tourist spot. Everyone wants to get their photo with the big red buoy because it is the southernmost point in the United States. Thousands, millions of family photo albums, millions of Facebook albums have pictures of people posing next to the southernmost point in the United States, in the 48 contiguous United States. We're not adding those others, those other two states that shall not be named. We're not talking about those. We're talking about the 48 contiguous United States. Down in Key West, you can stand in front of the southernmost point buoy. One thing most people don't know is that there's a second buoy. A second buoy that I would say probably not a lot of people have photos next to. The lesser known buoy, the northernmost point in the contiguous United States. That buoy, clearly not in Key West. That buoy is in the great state of Minnesota. And it is so far north in Minnesota. To get there, you have to drive through another country. You have to drive into Canada in order to get up there. And so we have the northernmost point and we have the southernmost point. So my dad lives over in Minnesota. So I want to go visit my dad. And after that, I want to go to the northernmost point in the United States. And before I return home, before I return back to my house, I want to have driven from the northernmost point in the United States to the southernmost point in the United States, in Key West. So from the top of Minnesota to the bottom of Florida. But that's not it. That'd be too simple. Driving a straight line from the northernmost point to the southernmost point, that's too easy. Because there's another thing in Key West, and that is another thing that millions of people have their photos with, that a million people have posted on social media, and that is mile marker 0, the end of U.S. Highway 1 that runs from the top of Maine to along the eastern seaboard to the bottom of Florida. That is also in Key West. Key West is ground 0. You reach the southernmost point, you also reach mile marker 0. So my goal here is we're going to visit the northernmost point in the contiguous United States. And then, instead of going straight down, we're going to drive across the top of the country here, and we're going to drive to Fort Kent, Maine, where the other end of US 1 lies. And from there, we're going to take US 1 all the way from the top of Maine to the bottom of Florida, to Key West. All roads lead to Key West. So in this road trip, this automobile trip, this auto trip, we're going to be driving from the northernmost point in Minnesota, sidetracking to Maine, and then driving to both the southernmost point and mile marker 0 before I go home. I really wasn't wanting it to rain today. I kind of wanted to walk around a little bit while I talk. We'll say goodbye to these Crocs here. Parked at the top of the sled hill. Fortunately, I have to walk up here with my sore knee. I think my knee is fine. Like I said, I fell forward onto my knees, onto my hands yesterday, right in front of the Sears Tower, where all the people up in the skybox looked down and laughed at me. My stepdad's a doctor. He looked at it. He said that he thinks I bruised my patella in my left knee. So I don't think it's anything where I've like twisted, ripped, broke anything. I think I just got a big bruise on my knee. So I just climbed up the sled hill. So I think in a few days. He said it's normal after falling on your knees on concrete for it to hurt a little bit the next day. Oh. Walked back up to Old Rosebud here. Unfortunately, she took some bird defecation while she was sitting in my mom's driveway the past month. But yeah, Rosebud's gonna have an adventure here as we travel up north, way north, and then way south. I did say I do have an appointment to get my tires replaced. I haven't had any trouble with them. I just think it's time. I had a few people actually comment saying that the tires look bad. These don't look that bad. I don't know. Maybe I should cancel my appointment. Let me see. I don't know. Does this one look worse than the others? I don't know anything about cars. It feels like that. It feels like it's time. And I have added a few bumper stickers to the back of my car. I got my wall drug bumper sticker there from South Dakota. The original bumper sticker that's on my bumper there, the haunted bathroom in Lawrence, Kansas, was the first bumper sticker I added. And then this is the most recent. I died and went to Cowboy Heaven, Pearly Gates, Texas. That's from Meow Wolf, Houston. I still got some room for bumper stickers. Much like pins in my hat, I try to be really picky about what bumper stickers go on the car. They have to be really special because, there's only so much room to put them on the car. So slowly, I think the 3 bumper stickers so far. I've had this car about a year. Went ahead and got in the car. It's not raining too bad. Oh man, I left this Burger King in my car for over a month. This car smells like Burger King. Don't leave Burger King in your car for a month. Realized, Burger King makes your car smell bad. I think me and Jen have had this discussion. We determined that In-N-Out is the smelliest garbage to leave in your car. Something about In-N-Out in a hot car will turn into the worst smell you've ever imagined. So, we got the big trip coming up. The trip I'm going to take tomorrow off, I think. I don't think there's going to be a video tomorrow. And from there, we're going to head up. I'm going to do a little bit of family visiting with my dad as we head up to the northernmost point in the contiguous U.S. Going to pass through St. Paul, Minnesota, where my dad lives. My dad's actually named Paul, so it's kind of funny that he lives in a town called St. Paul. But going to visit with my dad, and then that'll be our launching point. We're going to head up to the northernmost point. Pretty rural area up there in northern Minnesota. You do need your passport, even though it is you have to actually use your passport. I think you have to use your passport to get to a U.S. state, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And then I'm going to be on the road. The end point of the trip is not determined. I'm going to try to give myself a lot of room to get down to Key West. I think I'm going to be making a pit stop in Florida along the way. This is funny because I've had I keep getting drawn back to Florida, mostly by Universal Studios. I got drawn out there earlier in the year to see their cryptid themed tribute store. I got summoned out there to get that sneak peek of Epic Universe, which is absolutely amazing. But I ended up flying out there for that. And I think I'm going to be going back to Epic Universe. They're going to be having a media event in the days leading up to the official opening that I have been invited to. So are going to be headed down to Florida. So I'm going to try to be there for that. So get another peek at Epic Universe. Hope you guys enjoy that. But the goal is to end up in Key West. That's just a minor, obviously Orlando's not on Highway 1, but it's just a brief trip off Highway 1. And I may take brief trips off Highway 1. I'm going to try to stay to the road, but if something is nearby, tickles my fancy, I might divert. It's okay. It's okay to make side trips when you're going on major road trips. But I hope you guys enjoy this nice long road trip that I'm about to go on. See, I do get asked a lot about the mileage on my car. There is 61,816 miles on the car here. Running the windshield wipers there, trying to get some of that bird crap off the windshield. And speaking of crap, I got some crap on my mind. Just some random things I wanted to address and talk about in this video. And one of these things, just a little thing. I felt like I didn't need to address it
but apparently I do, because I've been getting comments in the comment section about it, and that is that I refer to the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of Mexico. Now, President Trump did an executive order earlier in the year, and I don't know, you know what, I don't understand executive orders or the very details of what happens with those, but he made a declaration to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico, to change it to the Gulf of America. Now, this doesn't apply internationally. This applies, I don't really know what it applies to, but it applies to certain agencies. I think official government agencies may be required to call it the Gulf of America. My belief is this. I believe language is an active thing. Language is always changing. What we call things evolves. And to me, I believe that just because a company changes the name of something, just because a government changes the name of something, really what it's called is what it's called, what people actually refer to it as. And I did a video at the Willis Tower, or aka the Sears Tower, whichever one you want to call it, yesterday. And I still call it the Sears Tower. It's what I've always called it. It's what I called it when I was a kid. I grew up here. They didn't change the name to the Willis Tower until after I moved away. So coming back and calling it something different seemed just so strange. Like it's the tallest thing in the skyline. It's the first thing you see when you're driving towards Chicago. Oh, see the Sears Tower. Just adjusting to calling it the Willis Tower. I don't have anything against Mr. Willis or whoever they named it as, but it's just always been the Sears Tower as a place, and that's what I've always called it, and I still call it that. In my video, I called it Willis Tower a few times, I kind of went back and forth, but probably 75% of the time I refer to it as the Sears Tower. And actually, just out of curiosity, put out a poll this morning on my channel if they should be called the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower. What is it to you? What is it? And over 90% of the people said to still call it the Sears Tower. So I'm using the same logic here with my decision to call it the Gulf of Mexico. That's what I've always called it. That's what the majority of people, to my understanding, the majority of people that deal with the Gulf on a daily basis, the tour guide from the swamp called it the Gulf of Mexico. I don't think he was trying to make any political statement. So that's my decision. I'm going to call it the Gulf of Mexico because that's what I've always called it. That's what feels more natural to me to call it. This is not a political channel, and we don't talk about political things, but occasionally, something political brushes up against what I do. And, it's not political why I'm choosing to call it what I'm calling it. It's because that's what I've always called it. I think things should be called what the locals call them, what the locals have always called them. The Gulf of Mexico has been called the Gulf of Mexico for hundreds and hundreds of years. I don't see any reason to change what I call it. If you prefer the new name, if Gulf of America seems like the right thing to call it to you, then I'm not going to tell you what you need to call it. But please have the same courtesy and don't tell me what I have to call it. As really what I call it is what I choose to call it. That's one thing I don't like about this whole thing, is that it feels like it makes you make a choice. It makes you declare your allegiance in some sort of backwards way, that if I say it this way, does that mean that I'm, I believe in that sort of politics? If I say it this way, does that mean I'm associated with this sort of politics? So I don't like that. I don't like that it makes people have to make that decision and maybe, causes arguments. I say, call it what you want to call it. I will not correct anyone from what they choose to call it. And keep in mind, if you're making a comment in the comments section, I know the situation and I'm calling it what I'm calling it. If the fact that I call it the Gulf of Mexico upsets someone to the point that they're going to be angry at me or not want to watch my videos, I'm sorry. I can't help you at that point. I don't think people should get that worked up over things like this. There is important issues in the world. There is important things to worry about and think about. And what I call the Gulf of Mexico should not be one of those things that upsets you. And I think that covers it. I think we will leave that at that.
Took a little trip downtown here to downtown Valparaiso. Rain's coming down a little bit, not too bad. They didn't want to come to Valpo without paying my respects to Orville. This man here, the popcorn baron, Orville Redenbacher, the most famous person to ever come out of Valparaiso, Indiana. I'd have a seat next to Orville, but the bench is pretty wet. I guess Orville's kind of soggy himself. He's been out in the rain. But standing here next to Orville makes me think about my own life, my own career. Of course, his face on all those different packages of popcorn. A man being associated with popcorn. What man is more associated with popcorn than Orville Redenbacher, a true celebrity here from Valparaiso, Indiana. So just thinking about his face, his recognizable face, and there's become a time of my life, a time has evolved over time that I go out in public and people recognize my face. I remember the very first time it happened. It was before I think it was before the YouTube channel started, or maybe near the very beginning of the YouTube channel. I went to a Christmas event that we were having in downtown Waynesville, and a gentleman came up to me and he said, "You're the Carpetbagger, right?" I was like, maybe. He had read the Carpetbagger, the blog, and he had read my photo blog, and he enjoyed it. And he told me he enjoyed it, thanked me, shook my hand, and I just remember walking away from that, and the world went silent around me. Just, what just happened? What in the world just occurred? Someone that I had never seen before, someone that I had never met before, knew who I was, gave me some kind words, and I just remember, literally in stunned silence, walking back to my car, and that sort of thing happens a lot now, a lot. People recognize my face. I think certain things give it away. I think I have a recognizable face. I think the hat tips people off, but yeah, people see me out in public and they recognize me. Now, if someone asked me, "Jacob, are you famous?" I get that a lot. People don't, not people ask me if I'm famous all the time, but I think people see me filming and they're like, "Are you some sort of famous YouTuber or something?" And I mean, no. I here's the thing with the word fame, the word celebrity. It's so weird. I don't think these words have a distinctive meaning as much as they did in the past. Like, before, there was 3 channels on TV. Everyone watched the same TV shows. Everyone knew the same people. Everyone listened to the same music. I mean, there was always some variety, but you had much less choice out there when it came to music, when it came to TV, when it came to movies. Everyone watched the same movies and then talked about the same movies. Now, I feel like things are just very specific. Like, if you have an interest, a special interest, you kind of almost go off into these like subcultures, and that's a lot to do with the internet. You know, if you like very specific things, you can find other people who like those very specific things. If you like, animatronics, if you like cryptids, if you like theme parks, you could find groups out there of like-minded people who maybe consume the same content as you. And I think that's part of what happens. You get people that people know of, but more so in different groups. I think if I passed by 1,000 people, 10,000, if I passed by 10,000 people, maybe, I don't know, and then just picking these numbers out of thin air, maybe like one person would know who I was. If you picked a random 10,000 people, maybe one person would know who I am. But and of course, if I'm in places that have to do with what I do, if I'm in a theme park, if I'm in downtown Gatlinburg, if I'm at a roadside attraction, it only makes sense that people with similar interests to me that may have consumed my content in the past would recognize me. And there's different degrees of recognition that I get from people. Some people are like, oh, I love your videos, I watch every one. Some people are like, have I seen you on YouTube? Have I seen you on TV? You look very familiar. To some people that are like, I've never seen one of your videos, but I've seen you in Adam the Woo's videos a few times. And it's all sorts of different people, from like little kids to older people, to people my age, people younger. That always makes me smile. And people from different backgrounds, people from different ethnicities, people from different political affiliations, of different religions. That warms my heart to know that people of all different types of people watch my content. And that's one of the things about being recognized and having people see you and know who you are, is that it really puts a face to the people out there. You put videos out there in the ether, and it just seems like something that I do for fun. At first, like, especially like when no one was watching my videos, it's just something I did. And then, very slowly, I remember, there was that one incident, and then I remember the first time I met someone that was like a huge appreciator, a huge fan of the videos. We met a couple in Myrtle Beach, and this was when I was with my ex-wife, and they were really excited to meet me and all that, and wanted selfies and things like that. And my ex-wife did not like it. She was horrified at the idea of that. But I don't know. To me, it gives me a way to make it that much more real to me, that the fact that what I do is consumed by real people. And I'm not changing the world here. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a police officer. I'm not someone who physically helps people. I don't, there's so many amazing people out there in the world that make real differences. I make silly videos, and I always keep that in perspective. But if just for a moment, I've heard this story many times, that someone was saying, that something had them down, or something was affecting their mental health, and then they watched my video, and it helped them forget, helped them smile for a moment. And that warms my heart, that I can have a positive effect on people's life. Now, there was a time in my life when I did work in a different field. When I worked in Child Protective Services, I investigated child abuse, I investigated child neglect. People usually were not happy to see me come. People were afraid of me. People didn't want me to take their kids away. Even when people were nice and kind, they almost had like a fear that I would try to take their kids away or something like that. By the way, took away, I probably took custody of about maybe a dozen children in the 10 years that I worked there. But I had multiple cases a day. It was a very rare thing. And I don't want to get too diverted on another topic, but a good social worker is someone who keeps families together at using every possible resource. Taking kids away from their families is an absolute last resort. People never smiled. People never smiled when I knocked on their door. People never smiled when they saw the CPS investigator coming. But people smile when when they see the Carpetbagger, and that makes me happy. And so, some people, ask about, like, is it okay to come up in public, or is it okay to take pictures? And absolutely, come up, say hello. I'm more than happy to shake hands. I'm more happy to take selfies. I don't charge anything for that. I don't charge autographs. I don't charge for selfies. I'm happy to give that give that to people. And I really, in my mind, I know what it's like to appreciate someone, appreciate what they do, and I know they can be very disheartening if you catch someone where they're having a bad day or grumpy, and maybe they treat you negatively or bad. I try really hard, even if I am having a bad day, even if I don't necessarily feel like talking to someone, I try to be kind to people. That's important to me. To be kind, to be grateful, to be thankful to people, because honestly, if there weren't those people out there, if there weren't those people out there watching these videos, then, I would still be the CPS worker. Never wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't know what I'd be doing, but it would be a whole different existence. So I appreciate every one of you that comes up and then says hello in public. It's still so surreal to me, the thought that strangers recognize me, in not in a bad way, in a good way, that I remember. And that I remember we were in an amusement park, my mom was there, and someone came up and recognized me, and she got a little tearful because she was proud of me. She was proud of the success. And that's a metric of success, having people come up to you and be kind to you. Unfortunately, there's only been a handful of people that have made that experience negative, and really none of them have been anyone that's willing to come up and say, people that have done bad things to me, or bad things to my family, or bad things to people I care about. They're the people that, hide behind their monitors, their computer monitors, their keyboard, that sneak around and write letters and make phone calls trying to hurt me. Good, honest people come up and say hello. And if you have a problem with me and you see me in public, I guess it's okay. I don't know. I still struggle sometimes figuring why people have a problem. I don't. And this isn't. I'm not talking about just myself here. Is that some people get real angry at vloggers. Now here I'm just trying to make fun videos. I am eternally grateful that it affords me full-time employment as well, that I'm able to travel all these cool places, that I'm able to see all these cool things and have all these cool experiences. It's a lot of work. It is hard work. I made a lot of sacrifices to get here, to get to where I'm at. I put in a lot of long hours. I still put in a lot of long hours, but those are all my choices. I'm not asking anyone to feel sorry for me or that I missed out on anything, or feel bad that I worked so hard to get here, because those are my choices. This is what I wanted. And when you want something very much, you work very hard and you sacrifice a lot of things to get there. So I'm very fortunate, and at the same time I did work very hard at the same time. I just wanted, this is just random, but just thinking about that, I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Tampa J, who I just saw a couple days. It's been a couple days now, but he quit his day job. He's decided to go YouTube full time, and it warmed my heart because I remember being there in that position where I had to make that decision. I met Tampa J a very long time ago. Before he ever showed his face on camera, I met Tampa J, and he is someone who has really, really worked hard to put the work in. Working a full-time job, all these are things I can relate to. Working a full-time job, but like every spare minute that he has, he goes and travels and films and makes content, and you know, putting the miles in, putting the hours in, willing to go the extra mile, and it's paid off for him. And that, I think, is great, because it paid off for me, and I'm super happy that it paid off for him. Jay's a good guy. Obviously, you know, hung out with him, know him personally, and could not be more happy for him. And I know he will succeed, because he's been able to succeed while we're doing a full-time job, while you know, running around on weekends and taking days off to go run and make videos. Now he's got all the time in the world to focus on those videos. Not all the time in the world. Days are still too short, but he has that time that he would have been spent working, where now he can put all his focus on his videos. And I'm sure that we've got some great stuff coming in the future from Tampa Jay. So it's important to me, wanted to give that shout out to him, because I know how hard he worked for it. Oh man, I feel like am I getting rambling? I know I'm getting rambling. I don't know. I am getting a little rambly, but yeah, I was just talking about you know, people saying hello to me in public. It's great. You know, there obviously there's some boundaries. You know, you don't. You know, it maybe if I'm like crying or upset. That's what my joke was always, like, if I'm crying or pooping, please don't come up to me. If you could, this is just a thing. Like, if you think of it, a lot of times if I'm filming, I'm happy to say hello, but sometimes I'm filming something and it's, if you could give me just a minute to finish filming and, you know, hit that button, then say hi, that'd be great, because sometimes I may have to, like, may have been filming a big long thing and then have to start over from the beginning. And I get it, like, not everyone thinks of that, right away, and if you do interrupt, that's not a big deal. But if you think of it, just let me finish shooting the clip that I'm currently filming would be helpful. But yeah, it's for my heart, and like I said, people, theme parks and things like that recognize me, and that's crazy in and of itself. But when it gets even crazier is like at the grocery store. I've been at the doctor's office and had, like, the nurse recognize me. Like, it's so strange. It's such a weird life, but you know, I feel like it is a way to show me that I have affected people in a positive way, and I never suspected I would. I'll be, like, really honest with you guys. When I was a teenager, I had a rough time. I had no goals. I had no expectations for myself. I had no motivation. I listed, you know, through my early 20s with just absolutely no clue. What do you call that? I don't know. But it took me a while to find myself. It took me a while to find out who I was, what I was truly passionate about. And I feel through making these videos, through traveling, through the comments that you guys leave, through meeting you guys, I feel like that has made me a better person. It has helped me focus on being the person that I want to be, not the person that other people have decided that I should be. So I really appreciate, if anything, what I appreciate from you guys is seeing me out here, seeing me say stupid stuff, seeing me mispronounce the names of towns, seeing me fall down, seeing me make mistakes, forgetting my credit card in New Orleans, doing all this dumb stuff, doing all this stuff that you could call cringy. One man's cringe is another man's entertainment. But you guys see me for who I am. I put myself out here. This is not an act. I am not The Carpetbagger is not a character. The Carpetbagger and Jacob Kretschy are the same person. And you guys see me, and you still like me. And that blows me away, blows my mind, and you have no idea how much I appreciate that. And if I see people scolding me for being who I am, scolding me for showing my true self, I just have to remind myself who I am, why I do this, who I do it for, and we will continue until the plane, the wings of the plane fall off, the wheels of the train, and the engine of the automobile is completely blown out. We're gonna ride this into the ground, straightforward, no oil changes until the tires come off. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you so much for letting me keep this train on the track long enough to get to where we are now. I'm really excited about this next adventure. I'm really excited to the northernest point, to the southernest to the southernmost point road trip. I'm trying to workshop a name for that. Northernest to southernest. That has a bad ring to it. We're going to think up something. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you made it this far in the video, tell me what I should call this upcoming road trip. And thank you if you choose to follow along daily. Thank you if you choose to pop in every now and then to see what's going on. Thank you for that as well. You know, if you want to help keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air, there's always Patreon, $3 or more. You get you a postcard once a month. You send in some postcards from the road. But yeah, let me know what we're going to call this. And until next time, this one's in the bag.